A few weeks ago, I made a video sharing my own experience of using the 4 popular AI chatbots: ChatGPT4, Gemini Advanced, Claude Pro, and Perplexity Pro. Fast forward today, OpenAI just released the latest model, O1. I know every time people are hyped. I've seen a lot of tests around counting how many R's occur in the keyword strawberry, but are they really related to the real-world problems? So in this video, I'm going to do a more in-depth review for all of them side by side, including the latest O1 model, and see how they compare in the real-world situations. Bonus, I will also share a cool hack when you're using the O1 model. So keep watching. Just to be clear, this video is not about finding the best AI, as AI is always changing. So like what I mentioned a lot in my past video, it's more important to pick the right AI for your specific needs. I will use 5 different business and marketing related tasks using the same prompt for the evaluation. All of them are designed to mimic the real-world situations, and I will use real-world data as much as I can. Note that tasks related to image generation, getting up-to-date information are excluded because like Claude and Gemini, they do not have full capabilities in these areas. We want to make sure this is a fair comparison. And also, heavy coding tasks are excluded as well, as I'm a marketer myself. Personally, I don't use them to code. I will be using the paid versions with these default models when doing the evaluations. For some tasks, I may switch models, including the latest O1. The first round is social media content creation. These tasks aim to test the creativity and writing ability for these AI models. In this prompt, I will ask them to build a 2-week social content calendar for Target's Black Friday promotion that covers Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It should include 24 social media post content, 3 short videos concept, and hashtag suggestions. I will also attach the brand guideline, campaign details, and social post samples. Now let's start with ChatGPT. It gives the details for every single post for the content calendar and is divided from pre-Black Friday and post-Black Friday. And you can later turn them into an Excel calendar format. I love how detailed and specific each post is. Captions, key deals that are referring back to the promotion plan, hashtags, and is following the request. The tone is also aligned with the post sample that I have provided. However, there is a serious mistake. There is only 12 social media posts, and each day there is only 1 social post, while in the request I've stated a total of 24 posts. Now for Gemini, I like how it mentions the overall strategy from pre-Black Friday week to post-Black Friday, and here is the actual proposed content calendar. One thing to note is that it's actually not completed. Even if I export to Google Sheets, it's the same, but looking at the actual content, they're pretty well written and they're creative, and the writing style is natural and following the samples that I've given. The additional notes also make sense and some are actually pretty good. However, overall, I would say the content can be more specific, like mentioning how many discounts for certain categories that are provided in the attachment. Now for Claude, again, it's detailing every post with the actual content, hashtags, and additional notes, which is great. It's well organized and follow every instruction that I gave. It never missed a post. It's up to December 12th on Cyber Monday, which is perfect. Another thing that I really like is the writing. You can definitely tell the difference as versus ChatGPT. It sounds more natural, like this one. How fast can you spot the Black Friday deal? You have 3 seconds. With the emoji. It's interesting and it doesn't sound like a robot and very fit into the writing style of Target. And that's definitely a strength for Claude to mimic the tone for different platforms. Now for Perplexity, obviously the output is very similar to what we got on Claude because I have set it to use Claude 3.5 Sonic, so you can see the way it structured response, the writing style is all similar, and it's also following the instruction with the hashtag suggestions. However, there are actually more than 24 posts with 27 posts in total, and also the additional notes I can see are more generic compared with the native Claude. Another thing that I note is that the posts are very evenly distributed, 3 posts per day. Unlike for Claude, the posting frequency is gradually increasing as the Black Friday event starts. Alright, if I need to rank for this round, Claude will be the first place. It never missed a single detail. It hits every mark for this prompt, and particularly the writing is really natural. So if your tasks involve a lot of content generation, Claude is a good writer. And the fact that Perplexity can do web browsing also makes it unique when you drop content with research backup. Though I must say Gemini is also creative, so take some time to play with it and get more idea inspiration. Now, before we move on, if you're ready to embrace AI and get it working for a business, you have got to hear about HubSpot's latest updates. Twice a year, they roll out Spotlight, a digital experience where they showcase all the new features and product updates. This fall Spotlight is all about AI and how HubSpot is making AI a breeze. Breeze is easy-to-use AI that helps marketers do better work faster, get more valuable leads. We mix one piece of content into dozens of access, and get powerful insights to inform your campaigns. One feature that really caught my attention is Breeze Content Agent. It helps you automate content creations like writing high-quality blogs, building landing pages, generating podcast scripts, and case studies, all in your brand's voice. And it taps into your CRM data and customer signals to create content that is not just relevant, but converts more effectively. If you want to know more, go to the Spotlight website for all the details. The link is in the description below. A big thank you to HubSpot, today's video sponsor, for making AI easier than ever. Let's move on to the next task, strategic business analysis. These tasks aim to test the strategic thinking and analytical reasoning capability for these AI models. We're going to ask it to analyze the business situations for Unilever based on all publicly available reports and come up strategy recommendations to guide the company through the upcoming recession. First one, ChatGPT. The response is very well structured and follows the section that I have requested in the prompt, starting from executive summary, situation analysis, and what I like is that it's specific with mentioning some of the financial figures. Also, for the recession-proof strategy is very detailed from portfolio optimization, cost management to pricing strategy, and this is really what this report is about. And I can say these recommendations all make sense, such as prioritizing recession-resistant product lines. The only thing I would say is the recession impact analysis is not quite relevant to the potential impacts, but more is the insights. Now for Gemini, again, it's following the prompt with proper structure, yet taking a glance, you will quickly notice it's a bit generic and it's not in-depth enough compared with ChatGPT. For example, the recession-proof strategy is seldom mentions anything specific to the report that I have provided and to Unilever's unique situation. Overall, it's a bit shallow, like an emerging market without specifying which market in particular. Again, for the financial projections, it's also very generic without even mentioning a figure or growth rate, which is weird. So overall, I would say all the points are making sense, but it can be more in-depth and more tailored to the case for Unilever. Let's move on to Claude. You can see it says that the conversation is over the length limit, and this is the biggest concern when using Claude. It's pretty restrictive, and I have never encountered such issues on ChatGPT. So let's upload the text file instead that only contains the summaries for the annual results. So Claude is really excelling in this kind of tasks, and to be honest, I like this output even more than ChatGPT. It's very specific to Unilever's situation, even in an executive summary. You see it specifies the expected growth rate. Other sections like situation analysis, financial metrics are all very specific. Of course, fact checking is always needed. Particularly, I like how they categorize the recession impact analysis into different categories, which is very detailed. So although I can't upload the full document, it's still well done. Now for Perplexity, we will switch to the reasoning mode that used the O1 model and see how the performance compares with the ChatGPT4. So you can see the response is really excellent, although it doesn't detail the thought process, but you can see the response is really good, very coherent, comprehensive, and the points are specific to Unilever situations, like the current situation analysis and the recession impact assessment. The recession-proof strategy is also very comprehensive, as well as the projected financial performance, super detailed with assumptions. Alright, if I need to rank for this round, Perplexity with O1 model definitely gets the first place. O1 model absolutely make a huge difference, and because on Perplexity Pro you can upload attachment files, so making it a real hack if you want to use O1 model and need to upload different attachments at the same time. So basically, you're using the O1 model for better reasoning, problem solving, and Claude 3.5 for the writing. this is so perfect. So if you're already on Perplexity Pro, definitely use this hack. ChatGPT4 is also doing a good job. It is delivering the prompt with specific details. As for Claude, the conversation limits makes it difficult to fully utilize its capability. But I have to say, Claude still excels in this kinds of analysis. The response is thoughtful with attention to details. The next task, analyze documents and extract information, so we can test the ability in data synthesis and sentiment analysis. For this task, I will provide them with a YouTube script for this really popular videos, David Goggins' How to Build Immense Inner Strength, with 14 million views, over 12,000 comments, and then ask AI to extract insights and propose blog content outline. Note, I also request them to give me fresh angles without repeating the takeaways from the video. The first one, ChatGPT, is pretty good. I've watched the video myself, so I can confirm they're accurate. Like the key takeaways, self-discipline is crucial, embrace struggle, as well as the top 5 desires like practical ways to build mental toughness, maintain motivations. Particularly, I like how they give a fresh perspective on building inner strength, like with self-compassion, emphasize joy, taking rest, which is something that hasn't been covered in the video, and then translate them into the blog, which is well done. Now let's do Gemini. The response is also good. It has similar findings as from ChatGPT, like embrace the suck, and also the relatability of struggles are what most resonate with the audience. But some of the points I would say ChatGPT is more accurate, like just do it mentality isn't what it emphasized, but more about stay with the hardship. But I like how they propose in a new perspective like community, power of small wins. These are creative ideas. The outline is also well structured, but I would say the blog is not to mention Goggins' method, but to build on his ideas. So Gemini is not grabbing the task really accurately. Now for Claude, most of the points are similar to Gemini and ChatGPT, like the criticism about Goggins' method may be too extreme for most people. Decide for practical strategies to build discipline and willpower. And you can see Claude is very thoughtful that each new idea is very closely related with the core topic, building inner strength, like exploring relationships with emotional intelligence. And I would say the outline is more coherent than ChatGPT and Gemini, although it can be more complete with an intro and conclusion. Every point echo back to the title well to build lasting inner strength, like this session about sustainable strength. Now for Perplexity. This time I will also switch to the reasoning mode and use the O1 model. You can see the talking points are similar, not much contradiction from the previous AI chatbots, but it's more detailed. The format is also similar to ChatGPT as well, so I would say not much difference noted when using the O1 model. If I need to pick, the native ChatGPT response for this task is still better, with more elaborations in each section. Alright, ranking time. This round is really difficult. Obviously, all of them deliver the prompt well, so you can see if your tasks need to synthesize information and extract insights. Most of these AI just do an amazing job, and even when we use the O1 model for doing tasks like this, the difference is not huge. So the question is really about how much document you needed to analyze. I ranked ChatGPT the first place because its response is well done. It doesn't have issues dealing with large documents, while for Gemini and Claude, I would rank them the same. I like Claude response more, to be honest. It's more sticking with the title, but it always has the issues with large document upload, which is a concerning part. At the same time, Gemini's response is comprehensive and well-rounded. The next task, we aim to test their data analysis and visualization ability. For this task, I'll provide them with two datasets. One is the online sales dataset and digital marketing campaign performance datasets, and then ask them to summarize the insights with visualization as supporting. Let's start with ChatGPT. I like how it delivers every request that I have specified in the prompt and generates the charts one by one. Monthly sales trend, top 5 bestseller items, and it gets the answer correct. Also for the pie chart and the stack area chart. For the stack area chart, the only thing I notice is it's missing the website visit line, but they're nearly perfect. Then it also delivers the key findings and recommendations, and they align well with the chart except the channel performance, Referral is actually the biggest driver, but not social media and PPC, as shown in the chart. Though I believe perhaps it doesn't count referral as the proper digital channels, but the rest of the findings are pretty accurate. Now for Gemini, the first thing that I've noticed is the stack area chart is not quite readable and hard to understand without the legends as compared with ChatGPT. As for the findings, there are multiple mistakes. There is no data related to 2021, so it's wrong. And also, the top 5 bestsellers are not accurate, as well as the digital channel performance. Although the recommendations are making sense, the inaccurate findings just make them not so trustable. Now for Claude, you can see the dataset exceeded the conversation length limit and it happens again. So this is obviously the biggest concern of using Claude. Even on the Pro plan, you will encounter such issues when your dataset is getting big like in this case. And I really wish the Claude team can improve this or at least keep us educated on how the length limit is calculated. So unfortunately, Claude can't complete this task. Let's move on to Perplexity. The only chart that it generates is the top 5 bestseller, and obviously is not delivering the prompt well when I request for charts. And also the bestseller items are incorrect. Now for the findings, these are mostly irrelevant and most of them is making guesses and say it doesn't have enough data. So again, although it make comprehensive recommendations, I will be very doubtful on the reliability. Alright, for this round, this is obvious, and for the rest, I would say they're not even passing the mark. And particularly for Gemini Advanced, I'm a bit disappointed. Perhaps more tests are needed. ChatGPT definitely excels in data analysis, and the best thing I like about it is you never hit the limit like you do in Claude, making it super useful in analyzing large datasets with thousands of records. It also has good data visualization compared with Gemini. So if your day-to-day tasks involve lots of data analysis, especially large datasets, ChatGPT4 will be a great choice. Now the next round, landing page layout design. These aim to test the web design and coding ability. In this task, I will ask AI to design a landing page for a holiday campaign. It should have all the core elements like hero sections, feature product categories, as well as an interactive timer and gift finder. So to make it really complete as if it is ready to launch. The first one, ChatGPT. Now for this task, I will switch to the latest O1 model and see how it performs. So obviously O1 starts the thinking process and is detailing all the sections from the hero, feature product categories, counter timer, so it's really complete. Now for the codes, I would say this is a very basic layout. Some of the images are broken and you need to supplement yourself. The timer is not working and the gift finder as well, although there is a predefined drop down. So overall, this is basic, but yeah, this is far from a well-polished landing page design. Let's move on to Gemini. Like ChatGPT, I love how it provides the detail for every section with title, call to action, as well as the timer and even the footer. Now let's check the codes. I would say it's also very basic and even more simple than ChatGPT. Both the timer and interactive gift finder are missing, so still a lot of work to be done to make it ready to use. Now for Claude. So unlike ChatGPT or Gemini, it doesn't detail all the section copy in the response, but rather directly generate the landing page layout in a preview. And I would say this looks much more complete with a clear section of hero, feature categories, timer, and it's working fine. Even for the gift finder, it's functioning well. If you want, you can export the codes and run on your local environment and it still works. Although the layout is not yet perfect and some fixes are needed, it definitely looks more complete and ready to use. Now for Perplexity, I like how it generates a copy for each section, including the details for the gift finder, although overall they are not as detailed as in ChatGPT or Gemini. Now for the code generation, it also generates pretty fast with instruction. However, again, the layout is very basic. It doesn't look like it is ready to launch. Although the timer is working, still lots of work to be done to complete it. Alright, for this round, the ranking is obvious. Claude really excels at coding tasks, this is no doubt. It is fast, accurate, it can give you really high quality and near to finish layout pretty quickly. And the best thing that I like is, you can always preview with its artifact features. For ChatGPT with O1 and Perplexity with Claude 3.5, the coding ability is really similar. But I would say that ChatGPT with O1 is doing better because of its thoughtful response for the job requirement. So if you need to prepare technical documentation or requirements but not the coding task itself, definitely you should try O1 and then pass it back to Claude for implementation. And I can see this will be a perfect workflow. As for Gemini, to be fair, I must say more tasks are needed to deeply evaluate its coding ability. But for this task, unfortunately, the performance is not something outstanding. Okay, to wrap up, these are the premium AI chatbots that perform better in the areas that we have evaluated. I won't say they perform the best, but better because there are just so many use cases, scenarios that I can't cover in this video. But obviously, what I wanted to say is each of them are very unique. And so far, I haven't seen there is a one-size-fits-all chatbot or AI model exist. If you're currently using the free versions and want to know if you should upgrade to the paid versions, also watch this video for my overall usage experience sharing. I will see you next time.